you've been through, why you got scars. Since you walked through the door, I've been trying to reach you, 'cause I feel you. What's the story to tell? What's the story behind the mountain you're trying to climb? Think I've heard it
Guys,
before.
welcome back to the channel, or if you are brand new here and this is the very first time you ever see my face, what's up? I am Jen. I share all things health and wellness here on the channel. Anything I do to level up my own life, I share with you guys in hopes to inspire and motivate you to do the same. So if that sounds like your jam, make sure to subscribe before we jump into today's video. All right, guys, I have another meal prep video for you guys today. A bunch of you were going crazy over on Instagram because of the wedding cake overnight oats. They are in this video. I'm super excited to share them with you. They are super easy and basic, come together super quick, and I'm so glad that I meal prepped this week because I had a super busy week and it definitely helps keep me on track and overall just keeps me successful on my health journey. So without a bunch of gabbing, if you guys want to see what I prepped up this week, just keep watching. So we're gonna go ahead and start with breakfast for this week's meal prep, and if you guys have followed along for any amount of time, you guys know that when I do meal prep for breakfast, I either like to do some version of overnight oats or I like to do a breakfast casserole. Those are like my top go-to things to prep for breakfast. And this week we are going to do overnight oats because I haven't done them in some weeks and I am trying a new version. We are going to make wedding cake overnight oats and I'm super stoked about it because they sound delicious and because they're super simple. It doesn't have a ton of ingredients. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. We only need a few things in there and they're all going to marry together beautifully and taste awesome, I'm sure. We are first starting with some overnight oats. These are the Quaker oats. I just picked these up from Walmart, rolled overnight oats. They have better macros than the Bob's Red Mill that I normally get. They're 150 calories a serving, which is a half a cup, 3 grams fat, 23 net carbs, and 5 grams protein. And the ingredients are legit, just whole grain rolled oats. So I will let you guys know how I like these. To it, I'm also going to be adding a half a scoop of the PEScience Cake Pop. You can add whatever flavor of protein powder that you have, but this is what I love. And I have a link down below if you guys haven't tried them. Definitely check it out. They have a ton of flavors. My top two are probably Cake Pop and Snickerdoodle, and I actually need to re-up on my Snickerdoodle, so I'll be making an order myself here this week. We're also going to be adding some 0% Fage yogurt just to up the protein game, and then also some unsweetened original almond milk. And then to give it that awesome wedding cake flavor, we're going to throw in some almond extract as well as some butter extract. And then lastly, for some extra awesomeness, we're going to top it with some Lollis white chocolate style baking chips. It will add awesome flavor and just give it a little bit of extra texture, which will make it that much more delicious. But we're gonna simply just mix all of this together in these little mason jars here and throw them in the fridge and they'll be good to go. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start off with the star of the show, the overnight oats. These are only 40 calories less than the Bob's Red Mill, but when you are tracking 40 calories is a huge deal and it makes a difference for your overall totals. So I love to cut where I can, but I am doing 40 grams of these oats. And meal prepping overnight oats does not have to be complicated, guys. You don't have to do like crazy versions or flavors if you don't want. You could just do one basic kind that you like and call it a day. The only thing that you need to know is to do relatively equal parts of oats and whatever liquid you're putting in. It doesn't have to be exact, but close, and then add whatever flavors or berries or protein powder or fruits or nuts or whatever you want to it. Throw them in the fridge. You can make 7 of them and have one every single day of the week and keep meal prep super simple and easy, but yummy and keeping you on plan. But I will keep you guys posted on how these overnight oats are. Now we are going to do 20 grams of the Cake Pop protein powder. Now we're going to do a 1/4 cup of the almond milk or whatever liquid you're throwing in, which will be about 60 milliliters. 60 on the money. Now we're gonna throw in about a half cup of the yogurt, about 113 grams. We're gonna throw in a couple drops of the almond extract and a couple drops of the butter extract, just cause why not? We're gonna give this a good stir and then we'll add our Lollis chocolate chips. Okay, so I ended up adding just another drop of almond milk, so it ended up being 77 milliliters altogether. Now we're gonna go ahead and add 14 grams of our white chocolate chips. And that's a wrap. Look at those beauties. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump into our lunch prep, and we're starting with this one because it could not be simpler. I already had some of these Sam Choice Premium Angus meatballs in the freezer that I need to go ahead and use up. They have good macros, 200 calories a serving, 12 grams fat, 4 net carbs, and 16 grams of protein. And I'm just gonna throw these in the air fryer to make it super simple. And I wanted to, when I originally planned this out, I wanted to mix it with some of the Green Giant cauliflower and sweet potato medley, but all the stores around me are out of them. So I already had some of this on hand, and I love this. This is just the rice cauliflower medley, has the peas and all in it. It's 25 calories a serving, 2 grams of protein, 3 net carbs, and 0 fat. I'm simply just going to throw this in the microwave. I'm going to throw these in the air fryer, and then I'm going to toss it all together with my absolute favorite sauce, the sugar-free G. Hughes sweet chili sauce. Does have a little bit of a kick to it, but I'm not somebody that likes stuff like real spicy, and I don't find this to be like over spicy. It's just got like the perfect flavor to me. Absolutely love it. And they were out of stock of it for like weeks, but they just had it in stock at Walmart, and I stocked up. I got like 4 bottles. So I have plenty for backup because I absolutely love it. So this lunch could not be easier. I'm going to go ahead, pop these in the air fryer, and I am making this lunch for 2 days this week. So I'm going to do about 16 of the meatballs. So a serving of these is 6 meatballs. I have plugged in 8 meatballs in each lunch. So I'm going to get 16 of these thrown in the air fryer and then throw these in the microwave, and then we'll get them all mixed up with the sauce. Okay, our meatballs are done. I did them about 12 minutes. I like rolled them around a little halfway through or so just to get them nice and crispy. You're going to be reheating these through the week too, so you don't want to overcook them. And I ended up adding a couple more meatballs because I ended up changing the side. I had a little more room in my macros, so I went ahead and threw a couple extra meatballs in the air fryer. So I have 9 per meal. And I'm just going to split this bag of the cauliflower medley equally in half. Now I'm just going to throw a couple tablespoons of the sauce on each of the meatballs, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so for the next lunch that we're doing, we are making some teriyaki chicken sausage broccoli pasta. That's a mouthful. Say that 5 times real fast. But I have some of the boneless, skinless chicken breast tenderloins here. I love the Good & Gather brand from Target. Gonna cut up some of that. I'm gonna use a couple of these sweet pepper and onion chicken sausages. If you guys have been following, you know that I'm currently have been obsessed with these. They're 100 calories for 1 link, 12 grams protein, 5 grams fat, 1 net carb. Super clean ingredients, and they fry up awesome, and they're delicious. I'm also gonna throw a whole bag of broccoli in there, throw in some of this sugar-free teriyaki marinade from G. Hughes. Love this stuff. And then I'm gonna cook up 2 ounces of this Bonza pasta, and I'm going to be using 6 ounces of the chicken. I'm going to be using 3 of these links, this entire bag of broccoli, and 75 grams of this teriyaki marinade, and then I'm going to be splitting that into 2 meals. So I'll give you the macros at the end. In my pan, I have a little bit of avocado oil down on the bottom, and I'm just going to start by browning my chicken up first. To my chicken, I am going to add some Badia Complete seasoning, of course, and some Badia chopped onion flakes, and then I'm gonna just cook this for a second and then throw in the sausage. Sausage going in. Meat is nice and browned up like I want. I'm just gonna dump in the broccoli now, the pasta, and the teriyaki marinade, and give it all a good mix. Last up, of course, is going to be our weekly snack / dessert. You really could have this for breakfast, dessert, or any time of the day. We are making blueberry oat crumble bars, and I will link the original recipe down below, but of course I am loosely following it and change things up to fit my macros and my way of eating. So we'll go ahead and run over the ingredients, but like I said, I'll have the original recipe linked down below. It calls for regular flour, but I always try to convert to oat flour, and I just use some of the Bob Red Mill rolled oats and grind it up in my NutriBullet and make my own oat flour. Then it also has like oats in the topping, so I am going to use some of these cinnamon roll instant oatmeal packs that I just got in my most recent grocery haul. If you didn't check it out, go check it out. I thought this would just add like a super extra good flavor, and this is just 100 calories for a pack, so we're going to throw those in there. Then we need some baking powder, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. It calls for lemon juice. I have lime juice on hand, so that'll work fine. 1 egg. It calls for both white and brown sugar. I am using the pure sweetener and then the golden monk fruit sweetener. And then also we will need some Greek yogurt. I'm using the 0% Fayet Greek yogurt. And then the star of the show, some frozen blueberries. Let's go ahead and get this baby mixed up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mix all of our dry ingredients. First, we have a 1/2 cup of pure sweetener, 1 3/4 cups of the oat flour, which is 175 grams, going in with a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, a tablespoon of the golden monk fruit sweetener. Gonna mix this up, and then we're gonna add our egg and our Greek yogurt. Now it says to cut in the Greek yogurt and the egg and mix it with a fork until it gets crumbly. So I'm gonna add in my egg. I always just break my egg into like a measuring cup that I've already been using to save on dishes and to make sure no egg shell gets in there. So I'm gonna throw the egg in there, and then we're gonna do 3/4 cup, 170 grams of Greek yogurt. Now we're just gonna slowly mix this up until it's nice and crumbly.
Told me you believe in something and you said.
So I have my mixture all nice and crumbly here, and I am going to put 3/4 of it. I'm going to reserve 1/4 of it for the topping, and I'm going to use about 3/4 of it to line the bottom of this baking dish. I have an 8x8 baking dish lined with parchment paper, just barely spritzed it with some avocado oil. Now I'm going to put the bottom in there, and then we're going to make the blueberry filling. Okay, so I've put the bottom layer in there, and I just tried to get it as even as I could and press it down with the fork. You could use your hands and just try to get it as even as you can. Now we are going to mix our blueberry filling in this other bowl, and then we're going to finish the top crumble and throw it in the oven. So to our filling, we are going to add 2 cups of the frozen blueberries that I've thawed out, which is 280 grams. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of lime or lemon juice, whatever you have. I'm doing lime juice because that's what I have on hand. And then 1/4 cup of our pure sweetener. Well, I had right under 1/4 cup, but that's all right. It'll work perfect. We're going to give this a good mix, and then set it to the side and work on our topping. Okay, so to the remaining mixture that we had, we were supposed to actually just add the brown sugar in the topping, the tablespoon of the monk fruit, but I added it into the whole mixture. It was fine. I added just a little bit more in here. It's 0 calories, so I'm not worried about it. And now we're gonna add our quick oats, which I am using the cinnamon roll better oats. It's not quite a 1/2 cup, but that's all right. This is what we're using. So now we're just gonna layer all this together.
That fate is patient. Go run away, get it out of your system. Come back when you're
Crumbled the topping on there as good as I could. I didn't use as much oats as it called for because it called for 1/2 cup, and I just used that 1 pouch. So it was a little stickier than it probably would be. It'd be a little more crumbly if I had the extra oats in there, but that's okay. I'm going to pop it in the oven, which I have preheated at 375 degrees. It calls for 45 minutes, but using the oat flour and switching up the couple things that I did, I'll check it about 30 and see how it's doing. I'll let you guys know how long I end up keeping it in there. Guys, that is a wrap for meal prep, and I am feeling like overly excited about this week's meal prep. Everything turned out delicious. This ended up making up like way more than I thought it was going to, so I actually separated it into 3 different lunches, and the macros are still awesome on it, and it's going to be plenty. I don't like to get real stuffed in the middle of the day when I'm trying to like be productive and stuff anyways, so it's like the perfect amount. Awesome macros for each of those. Super excited for these because you guys know I'm all about that sweet chili sauce. I can't wait to try these babies, and everybody's already going crazy on Instagram about these, so I'll keep you guys posted on those. And this, OMG, y'all, can you even? I just pulled this beauty out of the oven. It's on the cooling rack. I'm gonna let it chill for like 10-15 minutes, and then it says to pop it in the fridge for a couple hours before you cut it into bars. So I'll show you guys that when I do it, but holy moly, it smells phenomenal. It looks delicious, and I'm like super stoked. But that is all of this week's meal prep. Can we just talk about this gem for a second? Look at this gorgeousness. I just pulled it out and then cut it into squares. Me and hubby tried one last night and it is spot on delish. It would be perfect with like some of the Fairlife ice cream. But catch the weekly vlog so you can see what I'm pairing it with, because it is going to be 10 out of 10. All right, guys, so that will do it for this week's meal prep video. Everything turned out delicious. I absolutely was like obsessed with everything. I will say with the blueberry oat crumble bars, I let them cook for the full 45 minutes, and next time I make them, I won't, because I feel like it dried them out like a little bit, and the topping got a little harder than I like, but overall they were still delicious. You know, they didn't go to waste. We still ate them. The taste was phenomenal, but I probably will do some tweaking on those in the future. Wedding cake overnight oats were super simple and absolutely delicious. Both lunches were awesome. I ended up adding broccoli through the week to the sweet chili meatballs and cauliflower rice because I didn't feel like it was enough, so I definitely would add another veggie to that, but that was delicious as well and came together super easy. Everything was awesome this week. Highly recommend. Let me know down below if you guys try any of these or what you guys are meal prepping, because I'm all for new ideas as well. I was going to meal prep this next week, but we're going out of town, so I don't think that I'm going to, because we'll just be here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I'm going to try to clear out stuff that we have in the fridge and just do super simple stuff. But tune into the weekly vlogs to see all of that, and also make sure you guys are catching the weekly vlogs, because a lot of times if I switch something up on meal prep, or if I pair it with something different, or I let you know how the stuff is through the weekly vlogs, so be looking out for those, as well as over on Instagram at InWithJen. I'll pop my handle on the screen here. And if you guys enjoy these meal prep videos, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future ones. And as usual, thank you so very much for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next video.